Hi, Corey Geiger along with Neil Rudel. Neil, 32-23 loss, and there are a lot of elements of this game that we can break down. But clearly the thing that everyone's talking about right now is the Matt Lehman fumble into the end zone. What did you see on the play, and what did you think of the refs call?
A bang call. I think could have gone either way. They certainly could have scored a touchdown. It looked like the football at least penetrated the plane. They felt there wasn't enough conclusive evidence to overturn it. But, you know, to me, the bigger picture is two fumbles inside the 10-yard line when you're going in, the big interception by Matt McGloin. You just can't give a good team like Nebraska those kind of opportunities.
Yeah, I thought it was a touchdown on the replay and some still shot photos. But to the Penn State kids' credit, they didn't blame the loss on that fumble. Now, obviously that was a huge play in the game. There's still 7.5 minutes to go. And the Penn State kids said, hey, they made a lot of other mistakes that cost them, except for Matt McGloin. Matt McGloin, he kind of got a little bit loose in his post-game press conference and basically said, we're never going to get that call. Penn State's not going to get that call. What did you think of those comments?
Well, I was surprised, a little disappointed. I mean, he's a team leader, and I don't think you can just basically accuse the officials of having a conspiracy against you. McGloin's always worn his heart on his sleeve, so maybe not overly surprising. And the other factor is this would have been the best win that McGloin had engineered. After Nebraska tied the game at 20, McGloin took them down the field. They got a field goal. He brought them back down the field when they were down 27-23. So, he really took this one to heart.
Sure, and Matt McGloin obviously has had a terrific season, but he's now 1-6 against teams in the AP top 25 in his career. The only game he's won was the Northwestern game this year. This wasn't his fault, obviously, but he did throw a very, very costly interception early in the third quarter. But hey, look, when you play a team like this, they got up 20-6 at the half. You got to realize that Nebraska is going to have a lot of fight left in them. They've been able to come back all year, and they did it tonight.
Yeah, a little disappointed that in Penn State's 4 losses, they've been out-schemed at halftime. They haven't, and some of this is probably their lack of depth. This is a big challenge at Nebraska. I thought overall this was Penn State's best effort of the year, a really great game, but they're just not able to respond in the second half when the other guy throws his punch.
And let's distinguish, because he and I had this conversation about an hour ago after the game. Best effort, and I would agree with that. It wasn't their best performance, and that's where I want to draw the distinction, because people can look at the fumble, and maybe they win the game if that fumble is ruled a touchdown. But there were still 7.5 minutes to go. Nebraska had 440 yards of total offense. They ran for 267 yards on the ground. They averaged 4.7 yards per carry. Penn State turned the ball over 3 times. The fumble was an enormous play, but Nebraska, I think, won this game more so than the refs cost it for Penn State.
I would agree with that, and I think Penn State's struggling with the running quarterback, defending the running quarterback. Struggled with it against Braxton Miller, Taylor Martinez. These are gifted athletes, and there may not be super passers in the Big Ten. McGloin's the best passer in the Big Ten, but these guys are elite athletes.
Zach's went at career-high 141 yards, and a 50-yard touchdown, but he did have a fumble at the 5. And Allen Robinson with 6 catches ties the single-season record for Penn State at 63, tying O.J. McDuffie and Bobby Ingram, which is pretty impressive. No signature win this season. You're pretty much going to have to bank on Northwestern. Now, you got a shot to beat Wisconsin at the end, and Wisconsin's going to the Big Ten championship game. But they still got a shot to go 8-4, and that would still be, by all accounts, a pretty good finish.
And it would be a very good year considering everything. It would be a real good coaching job to keep the program together, because it would include a win over a Wisconsin team that seems to be getting better right now.
Yeah, and it was tough. It was an entertaining game, to say the least. It was very fun to watch, but unfortunately they weren't able to come out with a win here. Give Nebraska credit. That's a team that has a lot of heart, and Taylor Martinez is a special player. We've seen some special quarterbacks over the years at Penn State, again, Denard Robinson from Michigan, Braxton Miller for Ohio State. Taylor Martinez, fun guy to watch.
Yeah, and this is a great place to come to see a game.
Absolutely.
Nebraska, great hospitality, super stadium, and a great tradition. So, and we want to thank the gymnastics mom for holding the camera.
All right, for Neil Rudel, I'm Corey Geiger. Thanks for tuning in.